He's the head of the 13th largest municipality in Ontario. He's the mayor of the city of Burlington. He is Rick Goldring. And now let's join with him and his family at their home. When he woke up in the morning of October 25th, 2010, he was Councillor Rick Goldring. And when he woke up the next morning, he was the Mayor of Burlington. How did that feel? I'm sure many people have asked you, but I'd like you to tell us again.
Well, very sobering, that's for sure. There's a lot of people partying election night, and I wasn't one of them because I knew I had to do the job. No, I think that's when the real work started. You know, when you run an election campaign, as you know, you're very single-focused. And you really focus on the election. You're not really thinking beyond the election. And when you're 2 weeks before the election and somebody asks you about 2 weeks after the election, you go, I'm not interested. I'm only focusing on the next 2 weeks. And so it was very interesting because you focus on that period of time to get elected, and then you wake up and then you are elected. It was certainly sobering, and certainly it was a special feeling, but it was also a scary feeling at the same time because now I've got to do the job.
Rick Goldring has got a personality that's envied by many, and you're classified as being a real friendly guy. And I know that you're a modest person and you're not going to comment on that, but that is a fact. And, you know, you're now mayor of a city of 175,000 people. You're the 28th mayor. And you got a lot going for you, Rick, and you're also a husband and a father. And you've got a cat, and you've got other children that aren't living at home, and you're a real guy. And later on, we're gonna have you show us how you work out at the Y, and that's just what it's like being a guy, a father, a friend, and a resident. But maybe you could tell us a little bit about how you feel being a father and a husband now that you're mayor. We're going to ask them later on how they feel, but we'd like to know how you feel about that.
Well, certainly. I mean, you know, Cheryl was so much a key to my life, period, and then she was so much a key to my electoral success for all her support. So certainly, you know, I feel, you know, I'm indebted to Cheryl for all her support, and I do whatever I can to support her and all her pursuits, her art and photography and the writing that she does. You know, she's very gifted and very creative. And certainly as a father, I mean, I've been a father for, how old's Lisa? I've been a father for almost 25 years. And, you know, my kids are older now, and when I became mayor, 2 of them were at university, and Lisa lives with us. So I make a point of, you know, being in contact with them on a regular basis. One's in London, and one's in Guelph, and Lisa's here. So I take that duty very, very seriously, and have ever since the kids were born.
Speaking of older, how old are you?
I am 54, turning 55 in August of 2012, which means I have to join the senior center.
And you don't feel it or look it?
Well, that's nice. No, I don't feel it most of the time. I think, you know, we talked about going to the Y. I mean, I've been going to the Y for over 30 years, and I think that has something to do with it. And, you know, I think, you know, we're meant to work out, and I do a little bit.
We're in your house
right.
in Burlington, yeah. And I guess your address is not necessarily something we need to divulge, but it's very pleasant of you to bring us in and let us talk to you this way.
Yeah, it's great for you to be here. You know, I certainly don't. When you first asked me to do this, I said my life isn't all that exciting. I'm not sure why you want to do this, but I'm more than happy to cooperate.
It's because you're now the mayor of Burlington.
I understand that very much.
And people appreciate that.
No, I understand. And certainly, you know, I look at the job as really a job that I have for a period of time. I don't look at it as my job. It is the city's job, and I'm just fortunate to be able to do it for 4 years and maybe a little longer.
Now let's talk to Cheryl.
Great.
Cheryl Goldring, right off the top, what is it really like to be the wife of the mayor of the city of Burlington?
Well, it's very exciting, and it's more time consuming than when Rick was councillor. There's more evening events to go to, and on the weekend there's always 2 or 3 events that Rick attends, and I generally go to 1 or 2 of those with him.
I know the election's over a year old, but just to tell us again quickly, How involved were you in the campaign?
I was fairly involved, actually. I did a lot of the campaigning with Rick, the door-to-door, talking to people. I was involved from the beginning with some of the planning and some of the forms, you know, the copy for all the forms that went out, the information, that kind of thing. So it was a lot of fun meeting with the team and going back and forth to the office, you know, the election office.
You just heard him say a few minutes ago that you were very supportive of him, and I'm sure he was very appreciative of that.
Well, it was kind of fun because, as you probably know, well, you know, I was a trustee in Oakville from 1988 to 1994, and I sort of got a little bit of a taste of electioneering then. So it was kind of fun, actually, to be involved in that again in a more, you know, distant, removed way. In that I wasn't running, but certainly, you know, for Rick running.
Now, as the wife of the mayor, do you get any nasty phone calls or nasty comments or people phoning at 2 o'clock in the morning and all that kind of unpleasant stuff? Does that happen to you?
Actually, it does, yeah. I get a few calls.
I thought so.
I've got a few calls, and I don't know, oddly, Rick isn't here when I get them, so they want to speak to him, of course, and not me. But anyway, I do the best I can. A lady phoned and she wanted to know why the hydro hadn't come on in her house since 3 o'clock in the morning, and this was on a Saturday afternoon, and felt that it was the mayor's job to get it going. So I gave her the number for Burlington Hydro. So I presume she got her electricity back at some point in time. She didn't call me back anyway, so that was a good thing.
Do you find being the mayor's wife tiring or exciting?
I guess it's a little bit of both. It's exciting because you meet a lot of people, and I must say people are so very kind and very, very warm and very, very positive about everything. And tiring in that sometimes if there's 3 nights in a row that you have to go out, it's, you know, the odd night you'd say, I'd like to stay home and maybe watch a bit of TV, but it's fun. It's not. It really is. The positives outweigh the negatives.
Mayor Goldring, frequently in the morning you leave your home and you come right to the Y. How did that relationship begin?
Well, I joined the Y January the 1st, 1980 or thereabouts. I came out of university in May 1979. I wasn't in the best of shape. I drank too much beer. I actually smoked cigarettes while I was in university. Didn't eat well either, and I knew that wasn't sustainable. So I joined the Y in January 1, 1980. I quit smoking, and I've been coming to the Y for an average of 3-4 times a week since January of 1980.
That's a long time. And have you felt better as a result of it?
Well, don't I look better? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Tell us what all you do here.
Well, years ago I used to do a lot of running, and I've run 5 marathons in the past, but my lower back precludes me from running much anymore. So I do the elliptical primarily. I do ideally 3 45-minute sessions on the elliptical a week. And when I have time, I do a little bit of weight training, but that doesn't happen very often. So if I can do 3 45-minute cardio elliptical sessions a week and get in some ab work and some push-ups and sit-ups and so on, I'm happy. I would love to be able to do more, but I'm happy with that.
How is it as mayor when you come to the Y, when before you came and you weren't the mayor? People all over you here?
I come in the morning, you know, it's been the same group for years and years and years, and I'm just one of the regular members in the morning. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty neat environment. This is my sort of home away from home. I just feel really comfortable when I come here. Got lots of friends here that I see when I'm here in the morning. It's pretty special.
Well, that's the way it should be, and this is also part of your life and has been for all those years.
It has been for well over 30 years now, exactly.
Got any recommendations to any age about participation?
Well, in fact, I can do a promotion. I've got a speaker coming in in June. His name is Chris Crowley, and he's written a book called How to Live Like You're 50 Until You're 80. He's done a lot of research, or he's collaborated with a lot of doctors to come up with this book. And if you can do 3 cardio sessions a week and 3 weight training sessions a week, that's the best odds of living to 80 like you're 50.
Mayor Goldring has 3 daughters, and Lisa is his oldest little girl. What's it really like being the daughter of the mayor of Burlington?
It's really exciting. I enjoy it a lot. I get to go to some awesome events with my dad, and I get to meet a ton of new people, so it's a lot of fun for me.
So you've probably met some VIP types that you would have never met before.
Yeah, well, I've gotten to know the counselors a bit.
Were you involved in the campaign when he was working so hard to become mayor?
Not as involved as I wanted to be, but I definitely did knock on quite a few doors and got some lawn signs out, called all my friends, and helped out in North Burlington where I grew up, so...
What do you hear from your friends or your peers, or not your friends so much? Do you get any nasty comments, nice comments about your dad, or do people say anything to you?
I've never had a bad comment about my dad. They all really support him, and a lot of people that didn't vote for him last time said they're going to do it again, and they really, I've heard nothing but good things.
What do you think about the work he's doing as mayor in Burlington?
I'm really proud of him. I mean, he's open, honest, he's easy to talk to, he's approachable, and, you know, if he makes a mistake, he'll own up to it, and I think that's really rare in a politician.
Now, as family members, even though he's mayor, as family members, do you get together for major social events?
Yeah, Christmas, Thanksgiving, all the major holidays, we all get together here. Cheryl cooks an amazing meal. We all sit down and have a good time, catch up.
NASCAR, Rick, is one of your hobbies. I understand a big one. How did you get involved? Why do you enjoy it so much?
Well, the first race I went to was in June of 1972, and a few of us went, and I just fell in love with the sport, the excitement, the noise, the smells, just the whole atmosphere. And I've been going pretty well every year since then, or most years, and even now I get away one weekend a year with some friends and just let my hair down a little bit and have a great time for 3 days.
Did you take Cheryl with you?
Cheryl and I have gone to races before. We haven't been to a race in recent years, but certainly we've gone to races before. Cheryl enjoys going to the odd race, maybe not as frequent as I go, but the odd race. But no, it's a great event. As a friend of mine said to me when I took him for the first time, he said, wow, this is just like a Buffalo Bills game on steroids.
Really?
It is quite the event.
Who's Jeff Gordon?
Jeff Gordon is a 4-time champion in the NASCAR series, and he's been racing for about 20 years, and I've got a few NASCAR driver t-shirts, so I thought I would put this on for effect.
Somebody in your office a week or so ago told me that you were really special with him.
With this particular driver?
With Jeff Gordon, that you're a real fan of his.
I'm a real fan of the older guys, actually. Mark Martin is the guy I'm really a fan of because he's almost as old as me, and he's still racing competitively. So I don't really have a huge number of favorite drivers.
Oh.
I like them all. Some I like more than others, but certainly Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, Kyle Busch, for one, those are some of my favorites.
Have you ever driven one?
I did. About 10 years ago, I drove one at Michigan International Speedway.
How fast did you go?
I got up to 146 miles an hour.
Was that fun?
It was fun. It was fun. A little intimidating. You're driving, the big taxi cab. It feels like a big taxi you're driving. And you're going into the corners, and they got the 18-degree banking. And you're getting buffeted down the back straightaway from the turbulence by being close to the wall. It was very intimidating and exhilarating at the same time.
Cheryl, your artwork is beautiful. How did you get started?
I started in the 1980s, Chinese brush painting at Sheridan College. And in the early 2000s, I branched into acrylic art as well.
So do you become involved in, I was going to say trade shows, but shows or do you...
Art shows?
Art shows.
Yes, I've been in a number of jury